Hey everybody, it's Party Elite. Welcome you back to another episode of our Planet Zoo franchise mode Let's Play. We're heading right back into Elite Zoo South, where things are going pretty nicely, I should say. So let's dive on in and pick things up where we left them off. There's a lot to get done still, as y'all are very well familiar with, I'm sure by now. I'm hoping to make a lot of progress today with regards to our South America region. We already touched on this a little bit last session, but just as a refresher, we've, again, massive air quotes around this, completed, end air quotes, our Capuchin enclosure section. If we just pause for a second here, just so I feel a bit more, I don't know why I feel the urge to pause at the opening over here. It's not like we have thousands of notifications, but bear with me, please. But yeah, we've again, quote unquote, completed the Capuchin enclosure. I've got a bunch of name suggestions. I know exactly which one I'm going to go with, or at least I think I do. I might still change my mind. I've got a couple of them listed out, and I'm fairly certain which one I'm going to go with. But I will implement that during our time lapse today, which will be focusing on the structure over here, and hopefully beyond the structure, we'll also be able to work on Pachamama's garden and maybe complete that. That'd be a nice, 2-for-1 deal, so to speak, with the South America section. And that would allow us to then move on to our beautiful, well, soon to be beautiful, hopefully, Llama Lane. And then just our, I'm probably going to separate the operation over here between the entrance and the actual enclosure itself, just so I can do it all justice. I might actually leave the entrance for later down the line when I've got when I've solidified some of my plans. Let's put it that way. I've got some ideas, but I've got some development to do still. And I want to touch on something over here with regards to the entrance. I saw it mentioned in the previous episode's comments. I will absolutely be doing a welcome and goodbye sign like we had at Elite Zoo North. It's just a matter of, finding the perfect way to implement and integrate all that. And I don't even know if it's going to be, over here. I don't know why I focus the camera around here as I talk about this. It might be further up or, further down. I don't know yet, but it is coming, is what I want to reassure you all about. I also want to reassure all of you that I have not forgotten about the wayfinding system. It is going to come. What we'll do is after we finish all these sections off separately, I'll probably do a once over beauty pass and a once over lighting pass, and that lighting pass is probably where the wayfinding system is going to be implemented, and then we can move on to adding more animals. And I know it sounds like it's a while before we add more animals, and if it feels like it's going to be too long before we start adding more animals, y'all let me know and I can start adding animals a bit sooner. But I do feel like there is a huge benefit to be had by completing things before moving further. Now, today's session is probably also going to start with a time lapse similar to last session, because we've got a lot of money. We've got almost 125k, so I'm feeling very comfy as far as our finances are concerned. So I think we can dive right on into a time lapse, get some work done, finish, again, I hope to finish off both the little building, the exhibit building, if you will, and also Pachamama's garden in one fell swoop. That way we'll make a lot of progress today. That's my hope. But again, as beautification always goes. Oh, someone's in trouble here. Hello. Oh, look at that. Look at that grumpy face. You mad because you got caught? What's going on over here? Going home. I've been spotted by security. Run. Go on, Johnson. Wow. That's wasn't expecting to come across anything like that. That's kind of funny, actually. Well, so grumpy looking too. It's like, darn, I've been caught. That's pretty priceless. Anyway, this is also nice to see. I'm glad I spotted this. We don't often get to see guests looking into the, looking at the crocs from this area. So it's nice to catch it every once in a while when it does happen. And I mean, you know what? We're making some money at these donation bins, so that's that one might as well just not exist. But that's not too shabby. This one also, I guess, might as well not exist. Okay, that's a little. Listen, it's fine. I like the idea of it enough to still justify it in my mind. Anyway, yeah, so hopefully we'll make a decent bit of progress today with that time lapse. I want to mention as well, as always, folks, if you have been enjoying this series and you would like to see it continue, please do not hesitate to keep letting me know. Leave those likes and comments down below. They make a massive difference in how I approach content on the channel and, again, what I do more or less of and how I go about doing it. That's sweet. Matching colors, locked arms. Hey, actually, they, you know, there's a postcard here somewhere. If this area was a bit more done up, the green is not only distracting me from what I'm trying to get at, but I also I quite like this. Yeah, you know what? I quite like this. Well, you have like your text over here. Welcome to Elite Zoo South, or maybe down over here to hide the. Anyway, let me know down below with your likes and comments if you are enjoying the series. Let me know with your comments as well if you have any feedback, thoughts, opinions about anything, because I do read through all of the comments, and all that stuff does influence how I approach things on the channel. For example, doing things like potentially removing our decorative element over here because, you know what, yeah, maybe that does look a little ugly, sorry, words not working. So yeah, we you know, maybe we trash them and rebuild something a bit more fitting of the area. And me hitting delete on both of those is confirmation that we're going to be doing that, because you know what? Yeah, they probably could look a lot better. Design's always an iterative process, and I enjoy having y'all involved in that process. Again, keep those comments coming, folks. Now, enough rambling, enough distractions by, you know, loving couples and dastardly thieves, whatever's going on over there. That's hilarious. I'm glad our security's on it. But all that aside, folks, enough of me rambling. It is time-lapse time. All right, folks, another satisfying time-lapse up ahead, or at least I think so. Actually, I should probably preface this by saying that we do not, in fact, complete everything that I wanted to complete in this time-lapse. I way underestimated how long it would take to execute this build, and I find typically that's the case, and some of y'all might have noticed that pattern as well lately, or since the beginning, if you've been watching since the beginning. But it's just I've gotten to that point, I think, with some of the constructs that I'm always kind of experimenting, and I'm always, I don't want to say second guessing, but I'm always like reconsidering my decisions and whatnot. So basically what you see me execute here today, I'm really satisfied with. Like, I'm very happy with how it ends up. Hopefully y'all like it as well. But the phase 2 of this build, I was kind of like wondering if I wanted to explore something else. And because I wasn't sure, and on top of that, there's also, I mean, there's other stuff that I'll explain after the time lapse, so I'll leave it to that. But there was a couple of reasons why we don't end up completing the whole thing today. Time being one of those reasons. But anyway, that's conversation for later. Like I said, let's focus on what we're actually trying to do over here. I got a lot of excellent suggestions for how to go about building the building over here, what kind of an approach to take, what to aim for, what to execute, things like that. And there were some ideas that overlapped with thinking I already had as well myself, and there were some ideas that were like fresh angles and fresh approaches. So again, I just want to say, as always, thank y'all for sharing your own opinions and thoughts and whatnot. It makes the process very interesting to come up with ideas, share ideas, cross-pollinate ideas, and see where it takes us. Ultimately, the direction I've gone with, it's a two-parter. There's the aesthetic direction, and then there's the story direction, if you will. Like, what is this building? So the building is a museum, but it's not just a museum. In my head, it's like, this is like, we've got our dig site, and by that dig site there is a temporary structure, but that temporary structure has since evolved into a full-on museum space, because there's so many artifacts and stuff being found in the area. So this is becoming the future site of a permanent, possible, like touristy, museum-y space that's not just like a generic museum that collects things from all over the world, but a very localized museum. So it is local to this dig site, You go in, you pick up your pamphlet about this history of this dig site, like that kind of stuff. So I don't know if museum is the right word for it, but that's why I wanted to describe exactly what I envisioned the experience as. So basically, you come here, the building has pamphlets and information specific to this dig site. And the reason why I like that as well is because inside all of the animal or all of the exhibit structures, like little glass boxes, they look very museum-esque. And I think what we can do is we can customize them a bit to further that impression. Like again, when particularly fancy and fragile things are found and stored in a museum, they're hidden inside like a glass box or a glass case or whatever. And that parallel was very kind of, I guess, poignant to me. And so I went with that story. And in terms of the aesthetic angle, I wanted to build something very kind of modern. And this does, of course, have some similarities to what we were doing out front by the entrance. That parallel is not lost on me. But I was doing a lot of research in terms of like modern architecture and like just modern references and things like that. And I really quite like this kind of paneling for a few reasons. One of them being it is very, yes, modern. And the other one being it's also very, it feels very like nature inspired, very earthy tones, lots of wood. I like the randomness of it. It's not truly random, but like the mixed color palette, things like that. I just like how that feels, and it felt right as well. As a way to juxtapose the ancient and the modern. We've got obviously this ancient, temple structure that's been dug up, and right next to it a rather modern sensibilities of architecture and a modern approach to building design and whatnot. And I just thought that was interesting as well to like kind of tell a little mini story over there. One thing I like to try and avoid doing, I guess, is I don't know the best way to word this, but like I try to avoid being like hyper stereotypical, I guess is the best way to put it, when dealing with regional aesthetic representation. So I wanted to make sure that I had a bit more, like I wanted to have a bit more of the other architectural style. And I was looking at a bunch of references to try and stay true to like South America. And of course, as you can imagine, with any massive continent that has multiple cultures and multiple peoples and centuries of development, there is a broad spectrum of architectural styles and stuff like that. So I took things like piecemeal here and there while also trying to pull from my own experience of what a museum or a structure like this might have or look like, and trying to like sneak in some little details, like having little slits for windows just to break that facade a little bit. I tried pulling from everywhere, and I feel like this also introduces to this space that otherwise doesn't have a lot of modern representation. It introduces a little bit of that without being invasive. That's the other thing, is I do like, and I've seen many of you mention this in the comments, and I totally agree, I really like how our enclosures feel significantly more integrated, I guess, at Elite Zoo South, and I want to maintain that overall feel. However, I don't want to do it at the expense of opportunities like this, where we can occasionally, get a building in, and again, I felt like this was a suitable space for a building. I also felt like this was a suitable style for a building because, again, not only does it add that bit of modernity, but it also blends in nicely because we're using natural colors. It's not a very big and obnoxious building. And then also, like I said, it represents the other side of, local aesthetic architecture, that kind of stuff. Because, again, yeah, it does really... I don't like that kind of stereotyping of aesthetics. It obviously it happens from from a positive angle when it does happen, but I don't want to get like lost in that kind of world, I guess, too often. I want to I don't know. It's just something that's been that's very particular to me, I guess, and I'm definitely not speaking about it very eloquently, I suppose. But I hope you all appreciate where I'm kind of coming from there, and the desire to kind of mix and match modern and well, ancient, really. when it comes to when we're talking about, you know, being inspired by the Incan architecture and things like that. But anyway, back to what we're executing over here with the shop covers and stuff. Decided to build custom shop covers as well. Decided why not go over the top over here, and I'm really actually quite pleased. You'll see with how the wood, the top level has that curved connection to the walls on the left and the right. I'm really pleased with how that looks, and I want to try to execute more things like that. There are so many parts to this that I'm happy with, and again, I hope you all are as well. You can see me over here right now actually contemplating the conversation from earlier about how these glass cases are like glass cases for, you know, finds at a museum, and I'm trying to figure out how to make them feel more like those kinds of glass cases. They're already pretty solid looking constructs, but just want to try and sell it a bit harder, I guess. The last thing is, yeah, here this is where I kind of like began to hesitate, because I was wondering, like, do I want the bottom floor to be more like classical style and the second floor is more like modern style? When I say classical, you can't see me doing air quotes with my fingers, so I don't know why I'm doing it. But I mean, you know, in terms of like classical European, obviously. Now, I don't know if I want to go that route, if I'm completely honest. I know I mentioned that last session, but it feels kind of like the go-to for a museum type structure. So I don't know if I want to do that or if I want to stick with purely kind of more of a modern aesthetic. I'm very picky about modern aesthetics that I like, but I feel like we've come across one that at least I'm quite happy with this like wood paneling. Might want to add some more textures or materials to it. This is where, you know, all those questions started coming up with regards to, okay, how do I want to execute, quote unquote, again, phase 2 of the structure. So this is where I kind of start to, and again, in all honesty, start to lose steam. And one piece of advice I guess I'd always give for people who are wondering how to go about doing these kinds of time lapses and stuff. One thing I subscribe to is, if you're losing steam, step away, come back later. This building's not running away. We're going to come back later. We're going to cap it off, pun entirely intended, and I think we'll be better for it, for having taken that break, rather than trying to rush to a finish today and then regretting our decisions and then having to, you know, rework it all. So just going to step away, and in fact, you can see just trying to execute some things, like fixing that vine over there, executing a couple things here and there just to put us in a good space overall. When we come back next session, we can cap it all off. But I hope you all enjoyed this time lapse. I hope you all like what the end result sort of has been, because I will. I certainly like it. All right, folks, we are back from the time lapse, and I'm pretty pleased with the direction that we've sort of headed in and the overall kind of aesthetic and setup. I was really underestimating how long it would take to execute the build over here, yeah, I mean that's the only way to put it. I thought this would be a little bit faster, but you know what? Sometimes you gotta let things take time, right? Because otherwise you end up with an unfortunate end product. Let's call it that. Unfortunate. I'm actually really pleased with this though. I'm sure I went over this several times during the time lapse in terms of what the inspiration is and what the direction is in terms of like the juxtaposition, of old versus new, and the fact that we're building this rather modern building outside of or right next to an archaeological dig site, which is of course a very historical thing. But anyway, I'm sure future Party Elite already discussed this in the past, to let you know what the thinking was over here. But yeah, there's definitely work to be done still. Still have to add a lot of pieces, make the flooring area, make this section over here as well fit in a bit more. And I've got some plans. What I don't have is time today, unfortunately. As much as I would like to prolong that time lapse to just get everything done up, I'm recording this rather late in the day because there was construction outside my building the entire day. So in the interest of actually getting this episode up in time, I have to check myself before I overextend my recording session, and the next thing you know, to render and upload takes forever, and the next thing you know, it's not out on time, and that bothers me a lot. So I hope y'all don't mind. But next session for sure, then we should be able to finish this off, and then quickly finish off Pachamama's garden as well. Lots of work to be done over there. I have noticed I want to touch on this right away. I have noticed that for some reason, the game, it's not lagging per se, but, and I can't remember if this is new or old, but you can see when I tap X, it takes a second for the gizmo to pop up, and if I close this, you'll see it'll take a second for it to close. So I'm a little worried. It's not like we have that many pieces already. We're nowhere near Elite Zoo North numbers when it started, you know, actually like lagging and stuff. So I don't think that's what's going on. I think it might just be, I don't know, my computer acting up or something, but I wanted to address that right now because if we start building stuff and you notice it, I just wanted y'all to know what was going on. I think we're good to hit play. We spent a fair sum of money, but we'll make that money back in no time, I think. Yeah, I'm actually pretty happy with how this has come out. I wonder if... Yeah. Yeah, the only thing that bothers me is... Yeah, we'll deal with it later. We'll deal with it later. Again, I'm judging something that is not complete. Oh, right. One more thing I want to touch on before we hit play is I was going to put the names down, but unfortunately, I want to do that when things are complete. But I will let you know that I plan to name things separately. This building will have its own name, and this area will have its own name as well. Probably going to put the name up over there. Not 100% sure just yet. Don't want to put it up over here. But yeah, so there will actually be 2 names associated with this area. I do have them picked out. What's the word I'm looking for? Like provisionally, I suppose. I've got them picked out, but feel free to keep some more suggestions coming because there's like no reason not to. There's still an opportunity to get your name suggestion in there. Anyway, let's go ahead and hit play, and let's make some money, and let's continue improving what we can while... Oh wait, actually, oh no. I wanted to, yeah. I want to see what goes down over here. Hey, there we go. I've actually never seen this happen. Like, I've never seen how this plays out. What? I'm not going to repeat what I thought I heard, but I thought I heard him say something. Happiness low, are you kidding me? Someone needs to build some benches? You're going to talk smack? Listen. You're not wrong, but listen, you are wrong for stealing. What? Ticket price was good value. So it's so funny reading like the opinions of I mean, I don't know what to say, honestly. I don't know what to say. Cash remaining, how much of that is theirs? Oh, that was I'm glad to have caught that. I'm also glad to see everyone buying like red. I was gonna say everyone's been buying red balloons almost exclusively, which makes me really happy for like, you know, like the channel colors and stuff, reds and yellows. We do have a green in there and an orange, but predominantly red. I wonder if there's a reason for that. Are you also running from like security or something? Let's get out of here. The very sort of curt way of saying it. Anyway, they just weren't happy guests overall, I guess. Anyway, couple things for us to do. Let's go ahead and do them. For one, let's go ahead and get some more benches down because again, she was wrong about some things she did, but she wasn't wrong about our benches. We definitely need more benches. I wonder... It's just... I don't know. It's a little like... No, I guess it makes sense. I was like, it's a little early for benches right by the entrance, but nah, you know what? I guess it makes sense. Yeah, you go, you buy your map of the zoo, you plan out your trip, you are maybe tired from the walk here from the parking lot. I don't know what parking lots are like in Australia, though, to be fair, so I can't comment on that. I just know what they're like up over here. Are you lined up properly? I don't think you are. There we go. All right, cool. No, that's even worse. Wow. All right, come on now. Come on, we got this. That, yeah, that. No, I'm like using the flooring, but I don't know if the flooring is right. Also, I've got some alerts over here that I should maybe pay attention to. Maybe a little bit more important than anything else. Wait, why are you guys unhappy? Exhibit is unclean. Get the keeper over here. I do intend to... Oh, the keeper's already over here, I think. Otherwise, it would let me call them. Right? Right? Come on now. Get over here. Alright, we'll keep an eye on that. What do we got over here? More vet research complete. That's the Capuchin monkeys. Yep. Excellent. Keep that going. Thank you very much. And no need for a workshop. Alright, back up over... Not all the way there. Over here. And people aren't immediately flocking to it. For now, I'm just going to keep the bench as is. And I want to think of a a different way to decorate them in this section, just so they stand out from our more kind of South America-esque stone bench, whatever you want to call it, rock bench kind of a thing. I'll probably come up with something over here that matches this aesthetic a bit more, and by default it does kind of match, but we can make it a bit more interesting. I mean, I can... Ooh. Let me try something over here. You can see I was about to name those spots earlier, but then ended up deciding against it. Let's see. Bear with me here for a second, folks. Wood panels. Let's go with the South America pieces, just because they work quite nicely, and they do come in this smaller size. Let's see if we can't... just gonna work on this for a little bit, not too long. Nah, it's too... Well, I guess I could do this. All right, let's see. Let's see if we can't pull this off. Probably not. Probably not gonna look right. Let's go with a lighter brown over here. There we go. All right, let's go right out to there. Put you right out to here. Yeah, that's not gonna fly. Maybe. Nah, that's kind of ugly. It doesn't have enough like curving points to make it look like a wave. I'll come up with something. We'll get back to that later. We'll get back to that later. Say hello to a couple of you. Get my conservation credits. Thank you very much. Not that I'm in desperate need or anything, but it's good to have. No alerts over here. What do we got over here? Release to the wild, education. We're close, actually. I don't know how we're gonna get that to 11% for an exhibit animal, but we'll see. Drink profits. Yeah, we're getting there. I think we're doing decently. Benches, more benches. Do we need more benches? We could always, I guess, do with more benches. So fine, let's go ahead and get another bench down over here. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Like significantly more important that I was in the middle of doing when I got distracted by the security incident. And now I can't remember for the life of me. But you know what? I'm sure it'll come to mind. There's a lot to do still in terms of just management stuff and just non-time-lapse stuff. Alright, I think that's a good start. Now, I just want to mention as well, folks, as much as I'd love to put benches like everywhere, unfortunately the game doesn't let you put them down on curved surfaces, like on sloped surfaces, so unfortunately I won't be able to do that. Though I will be able to do it on like these flat spots over here. Again, give people a chance to rest up on this rather long like walk, let's be honest. I have no issue with the length of the walk itself. Again, like Toronto Zoo is a pretty large zoo, so I'm pretty comfortable with the length of this walk and it sort of in comparison to my personal experiences. And to be fair, I don't know if Toronto Zoo does a good job with regards to having benches en route. I'm trying to remember now. It's been so long since I've been to the zoo, but I'm trying to use that as my reference point of like real world, what's reasonable, while also trying to, you know, match what the game wants. Because the game, I think, is a bit more forgiving than the real world would be, especially since we have this, you know, like, self-imposed accessibility challenge, if you will. There we go. Also, I just like how these benches look, if I'm honest, so I don't mind having more of them. Like, they blend in nicely, I think, with the aesthetic of the space and whatnot. Man, honestly, just as the sun is setting even. And this has worked out quite nicely as well. I like it. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at how I just... Magical is like the word I would use for it if it didn't make me feel like I was, you know, tooting my own horn, as it were. It just, it has that certain, like, ethereal feel to it, you know? I like it. I like it a lot. I'm very pleased with that. Now, actually, on the topic of things I like the idea that we had over here. And I like some of the suggestions y'all gave me in the comments in an attempt to fix this and actually make this count as hard shelter. So one suggestion was to raise that up, because maybe it was, he was sitting on, he was like sitting down. Come on. Come on, no? Not gonna do it, Raul? Fair enough. You know what, I should get a football. Got Raul in here. They do like footballs. What's your enrichment like? When the toy enrichment drops, I'll get them a football. Are you about to play? Yes! I'm so pleased. I'm so pleased. Alright, let's go ahead and hit L by the... Wow! Ow! I actually blinded myself. I'm so sorry. That was really bright. Jeez. L is to turn the flashlight on, by the way. I saw the question asked in the comments of the previous episode. Habitat. There you go. Genius. Thank y'all. Great point. I guess this was, yeah, a little too low, and the monkeys couldn't get up here. And now not only can they get up here, but they can also get up over here. No, that doesn't make any sense. This is way lower. I mean, I guess it's a matter of the size of the hitbox. I guess the hitbox is a lot bigger, as you see where... I don't know. We'll see. But what matters is this works now. And also, I fixed that vine that many of you pointed out, the vine to nowhere. Connected it over here, and now they can get over here as well. So hopefully, we'll see them exploring quite a bit. This is great. Where are you going to go to? Climb, monkey, climb. Yes. Okay, a little glitchy, but... Whoa. You're going to climb up over there? Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so pleased right now. I love seeing, like, the monkeys and stuff climb around and enjoy the space. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. Moonwalking up over here. Fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, the collision boxes and stuff aren't, like, perfect, but we can use our mind's eye to imagine what's happening over here. That's so... You know what? I'm so happy. Immediately they responded to access to this space and access to... Well, I mean, this space. Hopefully they'll respond to access to this space. The only problem is that... Oh, is it... No, I was like, is it raining? It's not. The only problem is that they can hide up over here from view. And the guests might be a little, you know, upset about that. But it's okay, it's okay. There's going to be plenty of monkeys, up to 30, I believe. Oh, it is raining, I guess. I can just, like, not see it. They got umbrellas. Are you going to go buy some umbrellas as well? You can buy them nearby. Energy is low. Then go sit down. Knew I should have brought an umbrella. Then go buy an umbrella. All the stuff is available. Oh, man. Yeah, this has come together really nicely, actually. I'm really pleased, actually. This is... I was a little worried about diving into this time lapse. Making architectural things every once in a while. That tends to be the thing I struggle most with, but I'm pretty pleased with this result. I mean, again, if y'all hate it, let me know. Don't ever hesitate to let me know if I'm way off in my judgment call. But as of now, at least, I'm pretty pleased. Maybe I'll look back at it later and question my sanity, like I did with the macaroni, right? Design is an iterative process. You'll hear me say that all the time, because it's very true. It was drilled into our minds when I went through, like, my university courses. Let's go ahead and get another excellent suggestion implemented over here, which is that I can use the mulch. I wish the colors matched a bit nicer. What we could do is maybe we could do this kind of a thing, where, like, this is an exposed section, if you will. Let's see what that looks like, shall we? Let's see what that looks like, and then we'll make a judgment call from there. Got some maturing llamas. Sounds good. There we go. The reason why I say the maturing llamas sounds good is because people still complain from time to time about the views of the llamas. And the more llamas we have, the less likely they'll be to complain about them. I realize I just made that statement and didn't like qualify it and explain why I felt that way. But yeah, that's why. You know what? I don't think that works. It looks too artificial. Let's go, you know, all out basically. And do this. Pop you down over here. Might need to raise you a little bit, ever so slightly, yep. more. Come on, baby. Come on. There we go. Excellent. Pull you over to here. Yep. There we go. And again, it's not going to be an exact match, but it's certainly a lot closer, I think. Oh, that's basically an exact match. Like, that's excellent. Again, thanks for the suggestion there. Absolutely wonderful. That feels a lot better. And then, yeah, just got to sort out what happens on this side. Can I? Nope, can't do that. Got to do this. Like, I want this to end over here, so there's a bit of a sense of, like, symmetry going on. There's a little gap, so it feels a bit more, you know, a little less... I find when things are a little less precise, they feel older, so to speak. Even though that's not always the case, it's just the feeling that comes across. This also doesn't seem exactly right, even though it's a right angle. Doesn't look right optically. There we go. That does the trick. Cool. And we gotta like really liven up this this garden space, right? Gotta really make it feel like a garden. Now, how do these animals feel about the coverage and stuff? They're pretty comfortable. That's good. Temperate grassland, tropical. Temperate grassland and tropical. Okay. Temperate grassland, tropical, and we're looking for not mulch. We're looking for continent, South and Central America. Now, do we have a lot of color? By the way, those of you that haven't seen Elite Zoo North, when I talk about some of the more complex constructs that we made, this is not the best example. I would say, if I can find the India. I wonder if I can find it actually. Reminding me that these are under nature blueprints. I wonder if I can find my blueprints. There we go. This is a good example of when I worry about part count, I'm talking about things like this. This is on its own for making epic walls. On its own $1,200 worth of parts, and we had like 50 of these to make one enclosure. That's when I start getting worried about part counts, by the way. It just came to mind because we were talking about what seemed like lag earlier. But I think that's a different situation altogether. Alright, temperate tropical grassland. Alright, back on topic. Let's try and stay a little focused over here. I really want to get more colors in. As many of you pointed out, yeah, we need more variety for sure. Especially to like reflect the garden, you know, look and feel. I wanna make sure we can find some more options. And I don't know how I don't know what the word I want to use is, like manicured, I guess. I want this space to look. I don't know how artificial I want this space to look. Do I want it to look like it's kind of grown, you know, under the supervision of Pachamama, as it were? Or do I want it to look like a properly planned out garden? It's already got some planned out elements, clearly. Like, you know, the placement of these, obviously. It's obviously got some constructed elements. But what about the rest of it? Just stuff that I've been, like, mulling over a little bit to try and figure out how I want to execute certain things. Let's go ahead and put some more of you down. I need to keep an eye on the notifications as well. Whenever I build when I'm not time-lapsed, when I'm not paused, notifications tend to, like, slip my eye. That's how you get trouble. That's how you get trouble. I could put some more down over here. Try and, like, make it somewhat symmetrical at the very least. 1, 2, 3. Move you over a little bit, I guess. That kind of a thing. Get another one up over here-ish. Like, I like it, but it's very little yellow compared to how much just, like, green it is. I just don't know. What are the options? We have monkey face. Over here. Kind of small. Kind of small. I want big, vibrant. I guess I could add some of these trees in. Oh yeah, that'll be nice. That'll be nice. Where? Over here. Let's go ahead and stop aligning to surface. That way it kind of stays stuck and it doesn't match the contours What we can do is we can go ahead and cover this space up a little bit. I think it'll make it look a little bit more sort of integrated, if you will. Ooh. I like when they give us trees that have these like funky like shapes or angles or whatnot, where they kind of like lean in a direction. Like this, for example. I like that kind of stuff. I like that kind of stuff a lot. Let's see. So far, I'm liking this, like, border, I guess. I imagine the animals aren't too upset about it or anything either. I really need to figure out what to do over here. Also, not very happy about how off this is. You up a little bit? Yeah, that's better. That's a lot better. Don't think I'd be able to sleep tonight if I left that as it was. Tossing and turning. There we go. Thinking about how I left this behind, thinking about all the comments that are pointing out that this wasn't even closely lined up. Like, this needs to be a little bit further down as well now, doesn't it? Like, down here-ish. It's not going to be perfect. It's not meant to be perfect. Again, our intent was for it to not be perfect, or my intent at least was for it to not be perfect. To feel a little bit more like, yeah, from a different era, where... I mean, again, we say this sort of stuff where it's just like, oh, you know, back then, building things with precision was difficult, but the reality is, especially when we look at South American architecture from, I mean, broadly speaking, history, you know, the Bronze Age and stuff, there's some real precise architecture going on. There's some real precision placement, some very fascinating stuff, especially when it comes to, like, the marriage of acoustics and architecture. So it feels a little disingenuous to say, like, yeah, we want it to be imperfect because that feels more historical. But I guess the imperfection is a reflection of erosion over time rather than how it was built, I suppose, is one way to justify the decision. Yeah, I really need to know. I really need to figure out what I want to do over here. And I just don't know. I could build, like, another... shrine. I could build like another section over here, like a collapsed section or something. I'll come up with something, I'm sure. I'll come up with something. I just don't know exactly what it is just quite yet. Also, actually, I want to experiment with something over here that was suggested. Construction, if we take a look at waterfall effects. And if we take a look at the mid-section waterfall effects. Where are we? Waterfall, mid-section. We might... Nah, that's... Don't think it's clear. Like, I don't think you can see it clearly enough to do the trick. Just looking for a way to make this feel a bit more natural. And of course, it always works to, like, just obscure it a little bit. I mean, I also don't mind that experience either. Like, this is quite nice. I like gotta duck a little bit, I guess, coming through, but it is quite a nice way to treat this area. Liven it up a little bit. I'd say spruce it up a little bit, but that's the wrong tree. Now, hopefully these llamas don't mind... Yeah, they do not. Ooh, they do mind some of these. Oh, right, of course. Oh, they don't like... Oh, right, because it's the wrong... Gotcha. Gotcha. All of those are interfering with their space as well. Okay. Alright, okay. So what is the llama? The llama limit, as it were. Grassland temperate. Fine. Grassland temperate. No tropical. Oh, great. Thanks, game. Why aren't there more temperate trees? Like, it's not the end of the world, but I don't want to upset the animals for no good reason. Because this doesn't create that same look of, like, the, you know, like the canopy that you can walk under. This is tiny. I love how the thumbnail makes it look like it's going to be a massive tree, but it's just this tiny little bush. Let's see. What if I put you down over here? And then you down over here. Hang on, do these animals really not like any of these? The tree up there, they don't like those either. There's quite a few that they don't like. I do like the ombu tree. Wonder if we... That feels like too much, doesn't it? Yeah, that feels like too much. Doesn't quite match with the look we were going for for Llama Lane. Yeah, no, we'll find a different solution for this. And these trees just don't do the trick. They don't do the trick at all. Let's try and accomplish what we accomplished earlier without bothering our llamas. Hopefully that's good enough. And again, maybe I'm overthinking it, right? Yeah, it looks like we're in the clear though. I try not to bother the animals if possible. I like to minimize that. We have some big crowds coming up over here as well. What do we sell over here? Water? Man, water is extremely popular. Montezuma's Mercy over here and up over here. I mean, okay, I was expecting to see a huge lineup, but I guess not. Hipshot Water though. I mean, it's made a decent bit of money already considering. But hold on, before I forget again, because I have been. Before I forget again, one thing I do want to do is over to the zoo. Oh, I guess we completed some more research stuff. Over to staff, over to work zones, over to center. We're gonna go ahead and get rid of the of Llama Lane from the central work zone. The reason for that is because I want our South American keepers and stuff to focus on it, because they have this keeper hut assigned to them specifically, so maybe it'll be a little bit faster to keep the space clean and stuff. Maybe we'll experiment with it, right? No harm in testing it out. I do wonder also over here, actually, one thing I wanted to try out was, are we able to? Yeah, we can kind of get a start on this, I suppose. Yeah, ish. I have some plans for how this will integrate nicely into the terrain and into the whole kind of space. A matter of executing it. We'll get to it, hopefully. I don't know about, maybe next session, when we complete like Pachamama's garden and stuff as well. I could work on it now as well, but it's just like, I like having the time of like finding the right pieces and all. The reason why when I go in to build something in real time as opposed to time lapse, I typically have an idea of which pieces I'm going to use, because I don't want people to have to watch me scroll through countless piece types, picking the right ones, or possibly the wrong ones. But when I know what I'm going for, it's easier for me to like find the pieces and stuff I want, and then it introduces that different conversation that I keep talking about, like the other way of discussing construction work. Maybe I can do it with the Taiga rock pieces. It's not exactly what I was looking for, but might do the trick. Find the right ones here. These ones, basically. Yeah, like this kind of a thing. It was like built into the rock face, as it were. Or you know, or so it seems. Not suggesting we'd I don't know, maybe we would blow up the side of a of a rock to put these stores in. I don't know. Doesn't seem quite right. Just gotta find like little pieces for the center section. Are we aligned to surface? There we go. There we go. You can hear their voices of being impressed. Impressment is almost the word I invented to explain what I was getting at there. Not perfect. Don't want it to have this like rounded look either. I want it to be flat. But I might need to accept the rounded look. In which case... Nah. It's gotta be a better way. Oh, yeah. I mean, we could do that. I don't mind that. Integrates into the shops a bit more. Maybe. Maybe. Let's see. For now. Right, and let's go ahead and rotate you like so. Over like there. Get you over like here. What is that sound effect? A weird trickling sound. Oh right, I think it's the retailer making a sale. The vendor making a sale. This kind of a thing? Maybe. Maybe. The rock's a little dark, but it might just be because it's nighttime, as opposed to like... Like, it looks like the rock is either wet or just, it's dark right now. This is not the color of the taiga. Oh, that's because it's tundra rock. Great. I need to swap all this out for the taiga rock. Good job. Yeah, party. But it communicates the intent at least. You can now see what I was planning on going for over here. Go ahead and rotate you. Gotta set you up right. There we go. Can I get this? Gotta do something like that. Yep, that seems to work. We'll tweak the facade as well, just lower it a little bit if we need to. No, I think it's fine. Yeah, so it kind of like integrates into the space. I don't know what it does for beauty. We might need to add some signage and stuff, 25%. Like we'll add some like trees and things. Like they like the holly tree, right? So why don't we go ahead and get... Why don't we go ahead and get the holly tree, not the holly rock. Oh yeah, we can do these little bushes coming in handy. These aren't trees. These aren't that small. What are you talking about, game? Come on. Turn off the align to surface over here. There we go. Really kind of doing this place up, aren't we? I think customer opinion on aesthetic is determined by cost, by the way, like financial investment into the space. 38%. Yeah, this has helped for sure. Now, I don't know if these guests are coming here now because it looks prettier over here, or if they were going to come here anyway, and I kind of wish there was a way for me to know for sure, but unfortunately there is not. There is not. We'll, you know, we can add some of these little bushes, more bushes over here. Again, this is technically within the enclosure, so we still have to be cognizant of what the llamas like and what they don't like. I do this kind of a thing. Oh, yeah, put over here too. Yeah. There we go. Ah, rather quite nice. 42% isn't that bad either. Wow, if it actually starts drawing more guests over because the area looks nicer, like it's one thing for the guests to be happier with their interaction. It's another thing if it starts literally drawing more guests over. Why is happiness suddenly dropping? What did we get wrong? What have we messed up? Protesters. Protesters. What are you protesting? Ah, the iguanas. Okay. Well, give me a minute. There. You can leave now. That's gotta be what hit our happiness so hard. Just the protesters. It's okay, it's not the end of the world. Not the end of the world. Man, I completely forgot that this was today's time lapse. It feels like so long ago. I'm really quite pleased with with it. Oh, no. We're getting to that level of population with the llamas where we need to start worrying about inbreeding. For the longest time it was okay because they don't typically inbreed when they're able to live in such large numbers. Yeah, looks like we got away okay there. But I do need to keep an eye on this for sure. Oh, the count is pretty good. What was I looking for over here? Enrichment. Yeah, they're still pretty happy. Actually, on the topic of count, let's go ahead and get ourselves some more monkeys. Because we definitely can. Capuchin. C for... Oh, no, Colombian, right? There we go. And any good sets... Wow, really bad genes. Really bad genes. Alright, we'll hold off. We'll hold off. Hopefully we'll get some baby Capuchin soon. These guys still seem to be exploring quite happily. Yeah, this is great. Good to actually see them running around when the sun's up as well. Where are you headed? Nice. Like Beetle's upset. Maragwan Mansion. Oh my god, how many snakes do we have? Way too many. I forgot how, like, often you kind of have to check on these things. Let's go to exhibit trading real quick. And let's check our storage. Batara? Okay. I have to keep Batara. Because, I had a friend back in, I guess, high school it was, with that name. So how can I not? Batara and Leggy. Gold rated, high appeal. That just makes sense. So, Batara and Leggy. Send to zoo over here. Everybody else can leave. Okay, cool. Try and keep those two for as long as possible. I can't resist such a personal connection. And I need to just check to make sure. Yeah, this is supposed to be the eastern brown snake. Cool. Have we ever by mistake? We have not. Cool. The other thing actually looking at education reminds me is it was pointed out that there might be an overlap over here. Some folks were getting upset or confused as they were walking around, but I mean, if I catch it, then that's great, but it's nothing's indicate. Oh, here. I mean, I could try. Oh, weird. Okay, here's what we'll do. Let's go ahead and reduce this one. I feel like this is the one that's causing the problems. See if that does the trick. Oh, you're about to walk to the same zone. No, okay, is this also causing the problem? Because it might be that they're still expecting to hear about, you know, whatever's up there. Interesting. Good eye. That was a good spot. Good spot. Come on, come through this way. No. I mean, I'm not going to complain about their actions because they just dropped some donations. So, oh, here we go. Yeah, looks like we're in the clear now. Cool, awesome. That should help. Lanta's about to mature. I do wonder if it's time to like trade out some of our mature llamas or something, make room for a younger generation. It's only February. These guys are already making 400 bucks up there, 60 over here, 100 over here. Okay, I'm sure we'll make some decent money off the capuchin. They've got to be a decent money maker, especially when we have bigger crowds. Oh, look at that! Yes. That's great. That's great. Now, yes, it's hard to see them when they're all sleeping, and sure, maybe that's a little upsetting for some of the guests, but you know what? The animals need to have a spot to hide in, and again, when we get enough monkeys, there's gonna be at least one roaming around at all times. Like, if you're upset about not being able to see them, you got this one right here. You got Raul. Let's go ahead and get that big ball, shall we? Get rid of the keyboard. Because again, they get bored of their toys. Let's go ahead and get you. How can they... Oh, it needs to be a small ball. Aw, man. I wanted the football. What? That's not a small... I mean, I guess the football is large. Fine, have it your way, game. Have it your way. Let's add a little bit of color into this space, right? Man, they're loud. Alright, what else have we got going on? What else have we got going on? Yeah, I need to figure this out. Might just do like an extension of this construct or something. I want to get some work done up over here as well. Got to make it match the Machu Picchu style thing we're going for with Llama Lane. Money is still being made over here as well. What is actually our financial situation? Now, 150k. You know what that means? That means, well, a couple of things. For one, let's go ahead and... This is what I've constantly been forgetting. Go ahead and hire some more keepers. 2 is 2 going to be enough? I don't know if 2 is going to be enough. Go ahead and give 1 to South America. You know what? Actually give both to South America. South America is really the only section we truly have. Center barely has a lot going on. Especially now that Llama Lane also belongs to South America. So that's that. Do we need more caretakers? I could maybe use some more caretakers. I could maybe use some more vendors as well, actually. Go ahead and level up the ones we have first here real quick, some of them. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. Might be time to start getting some more vets as well. show upgraded. Get some more caretakers. These guys I can spread to... Oops. I can spread to South America for you. You are already closer to center, technically. The center for you. Let's let them spread around a little bit. Apart from that, take a look at this. Need a workshop. That's not true. Vet research complete. That's the Capuchin monkey. And these guys are hungry. Let's go ahead and call a keeper here. Didn't get a health notification for the llama lane this session, so that's comforting for sure. On over here, Capuchin monkey's been fully researched. Let's keep the research going. Helps with fertility. Helps with I think it helps with fertility. It definitely helps with education rate. So there's that. Actually, you know what? Let's. Oh, okay. I take that back. Let's experiment. Let's go with the yellow anaconda instead, because Nahuatl's about to mate. That's good. The reason why I do that is because we have this challenge by the yellow anaconda education rating. It went down, didn't it? Anyway, it's got to be 11%. It's at 5% right now. Let's see if this makes a difference, because it should. Should make a difference. Apart from that, the other thing I want to do is I want to come in over here and I want to increase food quality. This, I believe, is what counts. I wanted to say grade 3. There we go. And grade 3. Okay, good. We can feed them properly, so let's. We have the money now, right? And this game isn't about hoarding money. But making sure the animals are happy. We got a couple of infertile llamas. We can rehome them. Oh, maybe that's why we're starting to see a little bit of inbreeding, because the compatible pairs are fewer now. Maybe. We'll touch on that soon. We'll touch on that soon. But for now, I'm afraid that we are going to call it a session, folks. I think we're just about that hour mark again. I mentioned earlier, I think the time constraints I'm under with today's session. I hope y'all don't mind. Quite pleased overall with the progress we've made today. I mean, the animals are eating better is the last thing we did, but just even seeing the monkeys have access to, you know, all of these spaces and whatnot, and using all the climbing tools or whatever you want to call it that we've given them. I might even add more intricacies to this. I saw some mention of like maybe adding some more scaffolding and having the monkeys have basically an intricate second level that they can climb around in and stuff. I think I'll experiment with that. I feel like this is the beginnings of that. We could add another piece of scaffolding over here and have them kind of transfer around, run around a little bit. I think it'd be interesting. I think the guests would like it as well. I think we would all like it very much. And yeah, pleased with how this is coming through as well. Pleased with our benches. I don't know if they're doing anything for us. Happiness is back up as well, so that's good to see. Yeah, guests seem to be enjoying their time over here overall. I honestly, I feel like we're doing a lot better here than we did with Elite Zoo. With Elite Zoo North in terms of guest happiness and just keeping an eye on that. Partly because we have to, because of the harder difficulty. Anyway, I just noticed the congregation of llamas eating over here. It looks like they're all bowing down to the one. I was really hoping that was going to be Cusco. Is Cusco even here? Oh. Nah. Wait, are they both called Olanta? They are. Kind of funny. Anyway, that's that does look pretty funny. It's like they're all bowing down. Folks, hope you enjoyed this session. If you did, you know what to do. Let me know by leaving a like and a comment down below. As always, it makes a massive difference in how I approach content on the channel, what I do more or less of, and how I go about doing it. Thoughts, opinions, stories, interesting anecdotes, whatever it might be. Feel free to share them down below, and any feedback as well, if I didn't already say that, but I'm sure I did. But keep it coming, folks. Keep it coming. As always, a massive thanks goes out to all of my channel members and patrons for supporting the channel on a monthly basis. Y'all keep us alive and running smoothly. And of course, a big old thanks goes out to each and every one of you for watching. Until next time, cheers.